Greetings and salutations, fans of Dota 2. It is I, Badger, once again back for some more Dota 2 League of Lads Season 6 action. And as per usual, as per when possible, I am joined by the one, the only Artorius. How are you tonight?
He's gonna pick Lifestealer. He's gonna do it.
Ask your thoughts. That's your feelings.
Razor.
I mean, it makes sense. Fume, notable Lifestealer player. Lifestealer certainly got buffed in the last Dota patch. As a Lifestealer player, I thought it was a viable carry before the patch, and the last patch certainly buffed the hero, so could certainly be a like a 7-pick Lifestealer from Nebula. Other than that, any other thoughts on this patch before heroes come out?
PL, Ursa are broken. Please help. I'm just a support player who wants to live.
And the answer is no, you cannot live. Try playing a real role.
It's okay, I'll pick Wind Ranger. They can't hit me.
Actually, that's the way to do it. But for those who are wondering, we are here for a playoff quarterfinals loser bracket match between Nebula and the Funny Zone. This is a win and advance, lose and you're out at 5th place type series. The winner of this will go on to play Step Bro I'm Stuck in the losers bracket semifinals. The loser will be done at 5th and 6th place, tied with Pizza Dog, who fell to the aforementioned Step Bro I'm Stuck. We have an Earth Spirit. Any particular thoughts on that one, or just standard Earth Spirit thoughts on that one?
I mean, the hero got slightly nerfed, but I don't think it changed anything about him being meta or not meta.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they reduced the roll distance, right? Is the main thing they did?
I don't know. I didn't actually pay attention to them. I just know they gave him a few nerfs across the board.
That's fair. I mean, I saw Earth Spirit. I'm like, yeah, hero got slightly nerfed. I don't play Earth Spirit. I'm just gonna move along here. I'm sure people that play Earth Spirit will analyze it at a higher level than I will. I don't think actually. I guess you do play Earth Spirit though.
Do I though?
You've got at least like what 30, 40 games on it at 6K pubs.
You should see my KDA ratio on that hero.
Yeah, let's see your KDA ratio on any hero.
I don't know. I got some pretty good KDA ratios.
Good point. Actually, that was some undue flame. I apologize. We are seeing the new draft order in effect, though. Traditionally, we would see, in this case, it'd be Dire, Radiant, Radiant, Dire. In this case, it's Dire, Radiant, Radiant, Dire. So now if Nebula want that Fume Lifestealer, they don't have to pick it at 7 into a counter. They get to pick it at 8 into a ban phase. So if you were correct with your initial thoughts of the Stealer of Life, then it's a good opportunity to do it. We'll instead opt for the Underlord. Nice, strong, tanky offlaner. They buffed the Aghanim Shard on the hero dispatch, right?
Yep.
I'm remembering some things, all as well. It was a big patch, in my defense. So there's a lot of
Now
stuff
I
in
need
it.
is Disruptor.
Are you giving away your strats accidentally?
No, you pick Disruptor, Underlord offlane with the Grimstroke 5. And you put on Inkswell, Thunderstrike, and Firestorm all onto your carry, and your carry just flies through the middle of their team.
So you are giving away your strat, got it. I'm excited to see that, though, when you guys play Dark W. I'm very excited to see that.
Yes, no one will pick that. No one doesn't listen to a word I say. He's like, Burke, what do you want to play? And I'll be like, I don't know, this looks like a pretty good Dazzle game. And he'll be like, okay, Wind Ranger, and instantly lock it in.
Such is your life, playing Wind Ranger and Cobble.
Yeah.
Sad tale. Sad tale.
But people still don't ban it.
Why would they? It's annoying, but not so annoying. It's like, alright, we need to ban the hero. This is unacceptable. We must ban it.
But I haven't lost with it.
That's true, actually.
The only time my team's lost with Wind Ranger is when Mike played it. Damn it, Mike. Ruining our 100% win rate.
Yeah, there's a lot of... You could join the long with the people who have some qualms with M. Esquire, I'm sure. The long list.
You can only play one hero, and apparently it's not Wind Ranger.
It used to be Wind Ranger. Back in my day, it was Wind Ranger, but times change.
I'm tripping Mike too much. I feel bad.
I mean, it's better him than me, I guess. All as well. I get a night off from being chirped by the one and only Artorius Dota. I'm looking at bands. This is, these seem relatively normal. Slark, Timber.
To look a lot like Life Stealer.
I mean, I feel like if it's gonna be last year, we would have seen it by now, right?
Well, no, they just banned Slark, Timber, Sun, and Monkey King, all counters to Life Stealer.
It just seems too obvious. It just seems too obvious.
The only thing they didn't ban was Ursa.
It just seems too obvious. Like,
And they banned.
wait, what if Funny Zone picked the Life Stealer? It's a good lane. It's a good lane to Underlord, and all the counters have been banned by Nebula.
They also banned the Juggernaut, which is another counter.
Oh god. Okay, we're putting money on Life Stealer being picked now. At this
Somebody
point.
picked the damn hero.
It's actually. I played it last patch. It was good last patch. It's extremely good. I played this patch. It's powerful. It does. You buy the shard. You have the new feast change. It's just so much damage.
Yeah, Badger, hear me out. You get open wounds on Life Stealer, so all of your allies' attacks do, 1.5% max HP as damage, and then you pick Wind Ranger and focus fire the open wounds target.
Oh my. Seems pretty powerful. Yeah, there's a lot of combinations with the Life Stealer and Life Stealer based heroes.
I mean, the Funny Zone already have one carrier of Life Stealer Infest, which is Earth Spirit.
Is it possible we're too fixated on Life Stealer right now? Because both teams seem to not want to pick it yet.
I mean, look at the game. How is nobody thinking Life Stealer right now? I don't think I'm fixated.
Maybe it's just the two of us. Like, maybe nobody else is thinking about this strength-based melee carry with severe dental problems. Maybe it's just the two of us.
And who has skipped the leg day one too many times.
True.
Have you seen his ankles?
I have not seen his ankles, actually. I played enough Life Stealer, and I'm sure it's deep in my memory somewhere, but...
Surprised they haven't been broken more often.
Dear God.
Life Stealer players should just be prone to being juked more often.
Never though opt to pick a 5-hero instead. They grabbed the Jakiro. So now Funny Zone, if they have the Life Stealer, it's there. If Nebula want it, it's there. Maybe neither team grabs it because they're just... Maybe we're the only people who think about Life Stealer.
Life Stealer and PL are the two good heroes of the patch. If I'm Funny Zone, I'm probably not picking PL into an Underlord, Rubik, and Jakiro. It's a lot of AoE damage. However, the only AoE damage they have on the Radiant so far isn't really enough to deal with a Life Stealer. Crypt Swarm and Shield Bash are okay, but they're not going to kill a Life Stealer. And PL, what am I saying? I am too fixated on Life Stealer, but there it is. Is this all a bait by Nebula? Are they now going to pick PL?
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, Mars, not the greatest hero in the PL. Life Stealer, not the greatest carry matchup in the PL. You have to itemize very oddly on Life Stealer to do well in the matchup. Think like Mjolnir. You don't really want to go Mjolnir in that hero, so it'll make a lot of sense if they go PL right here, right there. Then you have two bands to protect your PL even. Like that's fantastic.
Yeah. And Life Stealer doesn't really want to pick up a Radiance. He probably wants to go like Armlet, Sange, and probably a Satanic.
You go Ricky instead, though. Interesting. I mean, that's... You have the AoE silence to counter out the rage, but I'm not sure how high in this pick I am. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know how I feel about Ricky anymore. I don't know if he got nerfed or buffed with his Tricks of the Trade change, where he now does half damage in Tricks of the Trade, but he gets like a crap load of bonus agility.
I have not seen the math on it. I don't know if you've seen it, but apparently not, so...
I feel like this rookie pick leaves them with Life Stealer problems still.
Yeah. They're going to have to have some kind of mid that can do well against it, but the problem is, what mid is that?
Yeah, like, Earth Spirit's okay against Ricky. I guess they don't really have a hero that's good against Ricky. But, I mean, Ricky doesn't really deal with the enemy carry. So I guess if they pick, like, a Wind Ranger here, something that's just going to tread the Life Stealer, Trying to think of other heroes that just deal with a lifestealer in the mid lane.
There's just not that many.
Yeah, and you need something that's physical damage. You already have 3 magic damage dealers on your team. And also, late game, you don't want to be fighting into a lifestealer with a crapload of status resistance and a crapload of health as a magic hero. Because he also has that rage. And worst case scenario, he can buy a BKB and then you're really useless against him. So I am interested to see what they pick to counter this hero.
I am thinking so hard about it. Maybe they just go for some like BKB piercing stuff. Maybe they go for Puck by Anagonims, but I'm not sure if that's the answer.
I feel like when Ranger's okay this game, you have to deal with the Mars, which isn't very fun. However, does deal with a lifestealer at all stages of the game, especially now that Abyssal isn't a blink target, so the lifestealer really can't get on top of you anymore. The problem is they banned out a lot of heroes that can deal with lifestealer.
I like this Funny Zone draft in general as well. They have a lot of flexibility here where they can go the DP mill still, or they can go a support pick at 24. Yeah. So they have so many options here if you're Funny Zone. And now Nebula need to both counter lifestealer but also be aware of the mid situation. I think Aurora and Funny Zone have done a very good job in this draft here. And the Over Void Spirit, which is certainly an option. You buy the items, you have the 2 AoE silences that can force the lifestealer to either buy a Satanic or a BKB. You have the ability to itemize physical, let's say a Desto or something, but...
the Radiant needs something that has a lot of catch. There's 2 very mobile heroes on the Dire now, and they don't have a surefire way to actually catch them. They have silences, they have Earth Spirit Roll, and they have Mars Spear, but none are great.
Buck.
Yeah, that's the answer.
I mean, it's the answer on a macro level, but the question is, how is that lane going to go for Koryak? That's a traditional counter to the Puck in lane being picked into the counter, so it's possibly going to be a rough lane for Koryak, depending on how it gets played, obviously, but on paper, Koryak should lose that lane.
On top of that, you have multiple counters to Puck. Dare I say 4 or 5 counters to Puck. Ricky Silence, obviously very good. Ice Path, very good. Whatever Underlords of Rude is called, and blanking, very good. Rubik loves stealing any one of Puck's spells, as well as an instant disable, which is very good. And obviously, as you said, Void Spirit is a counter to that hero, so I would not be asking for Puck if I was him, but they were a little bit low on time.
Yeah, it's one of those things that there's not really many great other options either. This is simply a rough macro space. I mean, I'm concerned for Nebula, and I'm concerned for them. I'm concerned for both teams, actually. I'm concerned for both teams. Yeah, I'm concerned for Funny Zone in terms of actually keeping their Puck in a good game. I'm also concerned for Nebula in terms of countering out the lifestealer. So, I'm relatively even on these drafts right now.
Yeah.
I think the main guy to look at is Koryak, because you mentioned how many counters into this Puck. This is a rough game at literally every stage of the game for Puck. So it's a lot on Koryak to simply play well as an individual and his team to enable his game, which will prove difficult. Alright, we're seeing both teams. They are gathering around the new rune spots. For those who don't know, they moved it. One's still up here, but now the other one's at the river, so we're seeing both teams congregate by the river. But it seems like both teams will grab the one on their offlane side and be content to go 2 runes apiece. I should probably have the Twitch prediction thing. Where is it? There it is. Okay. I did it. Also, I fixed my scroll wheel problem, kind of.
Oh, what did you do?
I keep having it disabled, but for casting I have a zoom in, zoom out down to my number pad. So I can zoom in, zoom out if I need to.
What do you need to zoom in Dota for?
I think you need to zoom out for these big team fights sometimes, you know? I guess especially these large, chaotic team fights can be useful to have, but Regardless, we are into lanes, 2 runes apiece. We have, as expected, we have Fume and Bulljax headed towards the top lane. We'll have Aurora and Smiley head towards the bottom lane. So it's going to be a 5 DP rather than a 4 DP, which makes a degree of sense. This bottom lane, though, I'm expecting a lot of fun stuff to happen in this bottom lane. Should be a lot of trading between supports here between the DP and the Rubick, especially early on.
I'm also interested to see what happens in the top lane. Obviously, Jakiro can trade way better than a Earth Spirit can. However, Mars kind of does beat out a Ricky a little bit.
We have the answer. It is cut creeps and get hit by dual breath and lose half your HP. It's a rough time to be Mr. Baboon over there, but your mission accomplished, right? You came for the wave, you got the wave. You have destroyed the equilibrium.
Yeah, he is going to get level 2 off of it. I think and he is going to deny a whole wave.
Very low up here. Bulljax can mango and dual breath, potentially. No, he'll be in the trees. Never mind. All right, there's a roll top lane, but there should be no further action. Simply trades between 2 supports as we see Shrek and Fume fight over another wave, which is also under a tower. It's Dota 2, everyone. Equilibrium behind towers. This mid lane actually is going in favor of Koryak so far. Right now he's looking at a 10-1 on Puck versus the 8-0 on Void Spirit, so a good start to the lane for Koryak. Top lane, we do see a spear on Jakiro roll in as well, but it should be to secure the retreat of Shrek. Should see no deaths in that top lane, despite both teams making a small bit of effort to get a kill. Looking over at bottom, we're seeing Lifestealer out farming the Underlord for an apple. Both heroes seem to be looking at harassment over CS, as we're seeing both of the core heroes miss a lot of CS in that lane from the trading and the denying. And then top lane, as we've been watching, a lot of shenanigans in that top lane. Ricky and Mars both suffering as well. We're seeing these water runes come out already. It's giving a lot of regen to these players. We saw in the most recent micro patch, I believe it was yesterday, now water runes and bounty runes only give 2 charges of bottles rather than 3, but the concept still exists, where they're going to grab a lot of regen from the water runes from filling the bottles at minute 2, so I guess in that sense, it makes the Void Spirit lane a lot worse than it was traditionally, because now Puck can just constantly have regen and constantly orb spam you out.
Yeah, there's been a lot more fighting with the recent patch. So everyone has so much more regen.
You know what? I've learned this laning phase, nobody can die. Literally nobody can die. Both teams are trying to harass. We're seeing a Spear top lane roll in as well, doing a good bit more damage to kill Bulljax. Dual Breath is there, hitting on both. Now Shrek dropping to 1/3 HP. Tricks of the Trade is there, trying to run. They have 1 more Blink Charge. They need 2 more hits, I believe. Bulljax dropping low and Shrek dropping low, but neither will actually die.
That was the first time Bulljax has to use any of his health regen.
He's still got a good bit left as well with the 5 tangos, so he'll be A-okay.
Obviously neither hero very capable of harassing a Jakiro, so...
They actually are going for Shrek. Spear actually will miss thanks to Tricks of the Trade, but the roll is there onto Fume. And not bad, Boone needs to be careful. Dual Breath is there, but he kicks away the Ricky, but it seems to not be enough. They need a little more damage, and it will be there. First blood drawn by Bulljax on the Jakiro. And we're seeing a disconnection from Fume, so that will be a nice time to have a pause.
He dodged the spear by disconnecting. What a player.
He didn't walk to the right, so that is a way of doing it. Luckily for Shrek, the spear should hit the range creep, right?
I'm pretty sure that's what the intent of the spear was anyways, but...
Nah, I'm sure he was trying to kill a 2/3 HP Ricky with the Jakiro behind him with no air spirit. That's...
Yeah, with the spear that's not going to hit a tree. That was the intent. Kill him.
Yes. It is 175 damage, Artorius. It's like 130 after reduction. I'm sure it's enough to kill him.
That's a lot, and then he's going to follow it up with his God's Rebuke. Oh wait, he doesn't have mana.
we're having fun tonight. I think we're getting a little bit punchy at this point. I think the lack of action is making us really punchy.
Mid lane is actually exactly even CS-wise. However, Void Spirit has a tiny bit more XP.
Yeah. It's been very even so far. Koryak and Nier both pretty even so far. We're seeing Nier get a little bit of this jungle farm, which Koryak has not been able to grab so far, but Koryak can always orb over to the left and aggro the small camp. Possibly get the neutral items at 5, perhaps.
I guess the only lane that you can consider winning is top for the Dire. The Riki is almost a full level ahead of Mars, and they got first blood, so they probably have more money. Other than that, lanes are fairly even.
Yeah, it's a very close lane. I mean, it's mostly going to be this this sort of like when we see the ultimates come out. That's when things are getting exciting. Because that's when the kill potential really gets there. We start seeing like the astral steps, we see the Mars arenas, and...
Yeah, for mid and top, bottom, they're gonna hit 6 and nobody's gonna level their ults. It's another Lord Life Stealer.
Hey, there's some Fest, and Fest is an ability worth skilling, I'm sure. That Infest ability is actually so nice.
Right, it's nice to live, it doesn't really do any damage.
Well, it's like skilling Sunder on Terrorblade. It's like 80% of games you probably don't need it at 6, but that 20% where you need it, it's probably worth it in the long run to do it most of the time. You never know, like it gives you a heal, it gives you an escape, and it gives you a disjoint. It's fantastic. You never know when you might need it.
Man, I miss pubs where I just had a life stealer on my team, and he just starts screaming at my teammate to get close to him because he wants to infest him. He doesn't, he dies, and then he just spam pings, breaks all of his items, and then quits the game.
So I'll make sure to do that next time in our in the stack we're doing with Snow. You know, when Snow refuses to help me on his hero, I'll make sure to deny my my armlets, my Deso, and be like, yeah, you didn't let me infest you.
I'm the Deso. What minute is it? 40?
Nah, minute 38. Minute 38. We are back to action. What now?
You don't have a pipe for item?
Oh, come on! That was like a year ago. That wasn't even on Life Stealer. We are back though. We are resuming action. Baboon is bottom lanes. There's a roll in, just Siphon as well from Aurora, and they will get the kill to Smiley on that Life Stealer. Now we're seeing return to farming. Both teams seem to be content with the farming-based gameplay we've seen for the majority of this game. But we are seeing Smiley begin to really harass Captain Cobra out of this lane with that feast damage and the Ghoul Frenzy and the Orb of Corrosion, applying a lot of slows there, making it very easy to kite around. We're seeing a Coil mid lane. It actually breaks onto Nier. They're trying to get enough damage, but they're stepping in. Nier will go down to the Orb, and actually in the bottom lane, Captain Cobra dies as well. So it's 2 kills for Funny Zone, but it will be at the cost of Earth Spear. That's a worthwhile trade for sure. This Baboon guy is on some absolute rotations right now. Rotates bottom lane, kills a hero, rotates middle lane, kills a middle laner. Life is good. We're seeing even Koryak's being run down, but he shouldn't die in the bottom lane. Might lose a courier for it. Yeah, the courier will die, but that's fine.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing on Earth Spirit. You realize there's nothing you can do top, especially not until Mars is level 6. So you just gotta go find something else to do.
The sad part for Koryak is even though they got the kill there on Nier's already back in the lane, farming just fine. They still have the same CS because Koryak was chased by Acid Rain for so long. I'm sad I missed the kill bottom lane though, but it's pretty obvious that happened. Spirit Siphon slow, Corrosion slow, Ghoul Frenzy slow, run down Underlord. Sad tale. Alright, so we're still at a relatively even game so far. We do see Siphon and Roll bottom lane looking for Aspirin once again, but the roll will miss. There's a kick, though, need a little bit more damage. They have Smiley on the way, he does rage, and he will get the kill. And now I turn to Captain Cobra, Siphon once again there from Aurora. Firestorm is on the ground, but Captain Cobra is dropping very, very low. He's being run down, he's being slowed, and there's just so many slows on the ground. Roll once again there, and they will get the kill on Underlord. Double kill to Smiley. And Funny Zone? They're getting a lot of kills across the board. They are up 5-2, but yet they are still down in gold.
Yeah, it's seeming to be, for some reason, kills don't matter this meta. I don't even think they even touched the XP or gold change that at least I can remember.
Bottom lane,
it just
Remnant
doesn't
there.
matter.
Down goes Earth Spirit. Good rotation from Nier this time. He's going to look for Aurora as well, but use both Astral Steps in and the Remnant is still on cooldown. Maybe it's the heroes. Maybe the heroes just care less about kills now.
Yeah, well, especially offlaners. These melee strength offlaners, they don't really care about their farm in their lane. They just want to show up to the lane and get XP. So, like, you can kill them 4 times, but they're just going to come right back, and they're just going to use whatever spell they have to farm. Whether it be Firestorm, Sandstorm, God's Rebuke, just all Centaurs, Double Edge. They're just going to walk into lane. They're just going to get their XP. They're going to die.
There's a roll in the spear top lane on Ricky. They're TPing in Heroes Nebula, but not in time to save him. But are there counter kills? Nier has a step in, has the Remnant. They're looking for Baboon. Ice Path actually will miss from Bulljax, but Blue Breath will hit, and they will still get the kill there on Earth Spirit. Actually, yeah, he'll still die.
Yeah, only level 1 roll. When he rolls in, he has to commit, so...
And now bottom lane, we're seeing a Rage. They're looking for the Rubik. Aurora dropping very low, so Acid Rain both will die. Now Smiley running away from Firestorm, but Koryak is there, Coil is there, they've invested in the puck, they've come out of the infest, and they will kill Captain Cobra, so a 2-for-1 trade overall in the bottom lane. I was definitely moaning earlier about the lack of action, but we've got action, damn it! The action has arrived!
Yeah, almost every single hero in this game needs levels to be able to do anything.
Ooh, thanks. Thank you, Mike.
So the first couple levels are a little bit boring, and the game picks up pretty quick.
Alright, what are both teams up to? We're seeing a lot of heroes congregated in the middle lane area. There's 3 in the area for Radiant, 3 in the area for Dire as well, so perhaps something crazy might just happen. Coil, though, is on cooldown for 35, so I might have to wait a little bit for that one. Baboon, though, is on the deep, what appears to be a warding mission, but Dire are very aware of this. Bulljack's not going for the instant D-ward, even. Fume is over here as well. He actually did block the roll. In comes Nier now. Remnant is there. Baboon will actually go... Yeah, he'll go down. And as that happens, Aurora got clipped somehow. By Acid Rain.
Oh, then.
Well then. He's, I guess he's stuck there for a while, because the TP's on cooldown, so he should just die here. He is being dragged off the cliff, but Nier will come in with the Astral Step and we'll find the kill, so... Another kill for, Nebula, assuming Aurora eventually ends up dying here, and the answer will be certainly. But as it happens, there is a Coil on Bulljax to roll in as well. They really want to get this kill, doing a little bit more damage, and a little bit of damage will be there, but is there a counter kill? Fume, Bolt Acid Rain, still both here, will get the counter kill on the Earth Spirit, so it's chaotic, but Nebula can make a lot more to these mid lane fights than the side of Funny Zone are. Notice we have a Shrek in the top lane, we've got Smiley in the bottom lane, just farming.
This is the perfect time to pressure towers. Is 10 minutes, your cart waves are there.
And Smiley's really aggressive bottom lane, he wants to go Captain Cobra. Bulljax is there with that Ice Pass, Smiley will rage. Actually, he's so fast right now, he'll simply run away. I still can't believe they added movement speed to rage, that was their last patch, by the way. That was their last patch. That's the big change that no one talked about last patch. And we're seeing an effect now. Man's 500 move speed with the phase and the rage. Simply running Captain Cobra right now, and there's not much you can do about it. He's simply being run down. He has the infesting of the creep as well. Or he is in the creep, but actually he's fighting 4v1. Look at the kill on Captain Cobra. That's not a worthwhile trade. You even tip for it, so...
Cobra got a little bit greedy there, turned around, and got killed by the infest.
And Smiley was correct in assessing, hey, I can get this kill, but I'm not sure if he asked himself, hey, should I get this kill? Is this worth it for me? The answer was no.
Radiant do pick up a tier 1 top off of that though, and it appears they are taking
Roll
the
there.
Dire stacks
On
as
Acid
well.
Rain. Yeah, we saw at the stack area they tried to contest, but now there's a coil on 2. Acid Rain certainly dead, but there's a stolen coil,
Coil
though,
on
on
4,
the
though.
side. But not before. She near steps away. He should be fine. Coil being broken now on the Radiance. We're seeing Carpet Cobra here with the pit. Down goes Aurora. Now looking for Baboon. Roll is blocked by Fume, so it will be 2 supports dead for 1. And they somewhat protect their jungle for that. But now Smiley has arrived. But Nebulas are still chasing. Koryak is rolling. He is jaunting. He will find Near. But there comes the Mars Arena now. Spear is there on Captain Cobra. Fume is retreating. But Captain Cobra might not be so lucky. Orb once again in from Koryak. Will find the double kill. But now Fume trading at Smiley. Will blink in. Will find the kill on Smiley. And now they're still fighting. Lift is there on Koryak. It's a stolen orb. He jaunts in. Has the Fade Bolt. Gets the kill. But now the neutral gets the kill. Now Aurora still fighting. Roll once again. Baboon and Aurora. They're both back. Ice Path is there. They dust up Ricky. He has a blink in 1. Can he get away? There's silence there on the ground. Can they kill him? Aurora goes down. Spear is there, but does not kill Fume. And now Shrek. He's trying not to die. Nier goes in with the Astral Step, with the Pulse, and they find the kill on the Mars, and it's just constant fighting. It's certainly in the direction of Nebula. My God. Okay, I've woken up. Have you woken up from that?
Kind of.
My God, that's some real crazy brawling. Well, we saw 10 heroes they arrived to fights, and we saw what, like 9 different deaths during that fight?
I think so.
Something like that. Some heroes just literally dying twice in the same fight. My God. I have not put it on net worth. My bad. It's okay though. I changed it to net worth now.
I mean, you gotta see the 18 denies by Ricky and the 14 by Lifesteal.
That's pretty good, man.
Not having a fun game.
Look at Puck. Puck has 101 last hits compared to 65 on lifesteal and everybody else. Middle lane, Macroplier is there, trying to defend the tower from the exorcism from Aurora. Radiant, though, appear to want to still fight. They do have 4 heroes in the area, but Dire also has a lot of heroes of their own. We're seeing Shrek deep in the jungle, but he does not see Fume yet. They dropped the sentry, but is not there in time to stop anything for now.
Problem is, it's very hard to push a mid tower when there's just a big underlord sitting there with his team relatively close by it.
They do some damage, but some damage is not a tower kill, sadly. See, they're gonna smoke as 4, but they're not running into Nebula just yet. Nebula way further down right now. They're going to head through the tower area. They might see Acid Rain. They should see him. Smoke actually does pop, though, on Aurora, so now Nebula have some idea. Koryak orbs, Acid Rain orbs, Coil is there on 2, Mars Arena is there on 4. Sorry, it's on 2, my bad. They actually bring Captain Cobra out of the arena thanks to the Earth Spirit kick, but it is still a kill to strike the Green Knight. Now Aurora taking a lot of damage from Nier. The counter kill should be there. Now Nier needs to be careful. He's silenced. We're seeing Smiley, though, look for Bulljax. Is chasing. Meanwhile, the kill Nier. Bulljax still being run down. It's 4 kills so far for Funny Zone. There's an infest there onto the and they're going to look to find Fume as well. They have the silence, they have the orb, they have the infest damage. And they will get a full 5-man wipe onto Nebula. And a tier 1 tower.
That's a little bit of a weird start to the fight. Smoke breaks and neither team really react. Radiant have a hard time seeing over there because they don't have any vision, but Dire could see there and they just didn't really acknowledge that that whole team was going to be there.
Because, hey, you're right, they did see it. They're like, hey, this hero's right here. This is what's happening. We don't care, though. We're going to fight this anyways, and turns out that may have been an incorrect assessment. Which is some real Dota 2 for you. I'm just going to open up that scoreboard, show some KDAs, show some items. Got some items coming out relatively soon. We have a Ricky Diffusal relatively soon. We have an Underlord Atos relatively soon. And what else do we have relatively soon?
I think the Yule Scepter is complete on Void Spirit, but his courier died with it.
That's a sad tale.
I think same with Mars here. Mars has his Yule Scepter soon.
Yeah, he has the Void Stone and literally 6 gold, so We'll get the resume, and then we'll have the Yule Scepter in like 3 seconds time.
Puck's actually not going for a defensive item into these 4 heroes that can potentially catch him.
Maybe it's one of those things where you simply say, you know what, if there's nothing I can buy to stay alive, then why bother staying alive? Maybe that's the idea? Because say you buy Yules, right? Well, there's 2 counters to Yules here. Say you buy a Force Staff. Well, you still get stunned regardless. So you buy BKB. You're buying BKB on Puck. Say you buy Aeon Disc. What's the fun in Aeon Disc?
Which one's BKB on Puck?
Come on! BKB on Puck. It's Puck. A hero who has no stats, no HP, and no damage. Okay, some damage, but still, it's... You can see why you might not want to go BKB on Puck.
I think Mike will agree with you on that one, but Snow will not. He will buy 4 BKBs.
Alright, we're seeing a coil there on Void Spirit. The coil actually is snapped by Baboon, and Funny Zone will find a kill on the Void Spirit. It's a huge kill, and we're seeing these fights finally turn into a goal lead for the side of Funny Zone. They're now by 4k at minute 16, so they're ahead by about 250 per minute, which is a sizable but not massive lead. Top lane, though, they want the bigger kill on the Fume. Spear is there, they have the arena as well, Bulljax is there, Korak and the rest of their team are arriving. Exorcism is popped, Nebula trying to defend, Bulljax will go down, now looking for Captain Cobra. He's also almost instantly brought down, and they will dive for Fume, they will find the kill, and now Acid Rain, the one man trying to defend, he actually orbs the Stolen Orb to the left, making time for his team to arrive, and Funny Zone appear to be content to try to TP away on some heroes to fight on some more. And now Spear is there to kill Acid Rain with the help of the high damage from the Koryak Buck, and that was a somewhat disconnected but still total 5 for 0 in that top lane area, and it's another disastrous fight for the side of Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula's just getting initiated on, and they always have some form of silence or something.
And once they have a coil top lane, there will be a spear there to dodge the... Yules to dodge the spear from Nier, but Nier still actually gets away for now with the Dissimulate in the Astral Steps, so good job staying alive there, but the fight still goes on. Pit, Ice Path, they're on to Shrek. Shrek will go down. Now Baboon is TPing, should be able to get away in time, and yeah, it looks like Funny Zone will simply let their Shrek the Green Knight Mars die, and they will simply walk away from the Dire jungle.
It seems to be happening in a lot of fights. The Dire's just getting silenced consistently. The enemy team just has 3 silence, and they're not getting any of their abilities off, and they're just losing a lot of fights because of it.
We're seeing Dire start to buy these purges. We're seeing a mech probably into a Greaves on Captain Cobra. We're seeing this Yules on Nier, but it's still not fully online yet. We're seeing it in the mid lane, literally a 3-man silence onto the Dire from Aurora's Death Outfit. That's a 5 hero too. We're seeing Smiley fighting Captain Cobra. Korak is taking a lot of damage from the pit, but Korak will still survive. At this point, Funny Zone have a 5k lead. What do they need to do to turn that 5k lead into a Dota win?
Alright, you just keep farming on Lifestealer. There's really not a good counter to your hero.
Dire tried to smoke, but they popped it in multiple places and found absolutely nothing with that smoke, so that's a rough smoke there for Nebula. Speaking of Nebula, what do they need to do to prevent Funny Zone from taking this 5k lead into a win?
Stop losing team fights?
Well, speaking of losing team fights, we're seeing a roll onto Captain Cobra middle lane. Siphon's there as well. And they're looking for Bulljax. They have the arena, they have the spear and the rebuke, and I mean 2 more kills. At least it's not a massive So ambitious coil there from Korak barely misses onto Nier. Now Nier escaping, has a step, has the remnant to gee, if that coil hit, that would have been a huge hit onto Nier. But it was slightly off there from Korak, and as a result, they only have to have 2 kills rather than 3 kills. But they are trying to parlay that those 2 kills into a mid-tier 2 tower, though. Nebula are respawning.
They better hope they get that tower, because they actually lost a net worth lead during that fight.
Welcome to Dota. Kill 2 heroes, lose a net worth lead.
They went from 6K to 5K.
Oh my. Is that just, is that this Dota 2 right there? Oh, we are seeing a fight there. Earth Spirit is being gone on. He's being silenced. Though there are counter silences. Roll in from Baboon, looking for Fume. Fume now silenced, being hit by 4. Open Wounds is there. Fume trying to escape, but it's not enough. Now they're going to run for Bulljax. Ice Path is on the ground. Actually, there's a Force Staff to the high ground, keeping him alive, but not looking for Nier. He dissimulates to the left, steps as well. He's being rolled on, but is still alive, but in comes Shrek. Now Shrek is Yule's. Nier trying to run. Has no Astral Steps, but has the Spirit, but he is now coiled. Now it's a foregone conclusion. Arena on the ground. And there's a stolen coil on 4, but it will not keep him alive, and Captain Cobra does save Acid Rain with the Dark Rift, but once again, you lose both major cores, and it's, dare I say, bad. Very, very bad.
Yeah, Radiant won a few fights, got a net worth lead, and Dire just hasn't seemed to be able to find a way back into the game yet.
At what point do we start panicking if you're a fan of Nebula? Is it right now?
No, I think you're still fine right now.
It might be now, though. They are going onto the side of Nebula. Captain Cobra instantly gets bursted down, and they try to get killed there onto Baboon. He's still not dead, though, but Fume is dead. Baboon finally will die to Acid Rain, but Bulljax has been speared. He has been killed. Once again, a 3-for-1 fight. Once again, you lose 2 cores, and at this time, they're going to lose the Roshan on top of it, so...
Alright, now I'm
rough
freaking out, because now that Roche is actually dead.
Yeah.
DD on Smiley. They're for sure getting this, they can't contest anymore. It just feels like this Ricky needs a Manta style complete. Nier needs his BKB completed. And you just need the Greaves completed on Underlord if you want to fight whatsoever, because they're just getting silenced and not being able to do literally anything at all.
They're not that particularly close to any of those items either. We're talking at least 2,000 plus gold for each of those individual items, so might be a while until Nebula has what they need to fight.
Yeah, by the time they get that, there might even be items on Funny Zone that just make them win the fight regardless of those items.
So here's a telling statistic. We just saw the Aquila drop, so at minute 23, they just got their last tier 2 item. Their farm has been impacted that much, they just got their last tier 2 item. That's a rough tale. We actually are seeing a blink and a silence on the Koryak. Atos is there as well as a phase shift from Koryak. Pit on the ground will hit. In comes Baboon with the roll. There's actually a 2-man stolen coil once again there. Koryak actually does go down. Now, Earth Spirit rolls in on Fume, trying to fight Fume, dropping low. Earth Spirit dropping low. Both will go down here, I believe. Unless Trixie Trade can save Ricky. In comes Near Silence is on the ground. It's a 3-for-1 so far, actually, with Aurora dying as well. Shrek and Smiley both there. Smiley has the Rage, has the Aegis. Shrek trying to fight, so is Acid Rain. Acid Rain goes down. Shrek under the Remnant. He's being brought down. Dark Rift actually being used by Captain Cobra. They're still running at Shrek. Captain Cobra will bring himself and Bulljax away from the fight, and Nier still in the mid lane, but overall 3-for-2 trade in favor of Nebula, and with the net worth advantage, you have the 1.2k gold swing there in favor of Nebula, so that is at least some sign of life.
Yeah, that's good for Nebula there. Despite their Ricky dying, he did get the XP from all 3 of those kills. So he at least has to feel a little bit happy about that. Unfortunately, the Ricky still does die. They did get the top tier 2 for the Radiant, however. Smiley finished that before he TP'd into the fight.
Koryak's crazy, actually. He really wanted the kill on Nier, committed literally everything offensively, but simply lacked the damage to get that kill. I like the idea, but that one's sadly not happening, I don't think, no matter what you do, unless Nier just misplays heavily.
Nier actually skips the BKB and goes back for the Ags. Either that's going to pay off greatly, or it's going to end horrifically, and I don't know which one.
I think it makes sense, because Puck doesn't have Yules yet. It allows you to at least silence the Puck in the fights, and Smiley has no Purge either, so you can silence him in the fights. I think this Ags is the right move to make this game.
Yeah, the counter to AoE silence? AoE silence.
It's a game of AoE silences, you know? It truly is.
I mean, if he gets his AoE silence off first, that could just mean winning the fight, because his whole team won't get AoE silenced, and then they can get their spells off.
Is that the patch? Every hero's an AoE silence?
Every hero's an AoE stun. What do you mean?
Or if we're seeing all
You
these...
got,
if we're
you
seeing
got
all these...
Dazzle for AoE.
if we're seeing all these AoE stuns, AoE silences, then why is silencer still so bad? I'm joking.
Oh, wait, he has an AoE silence. Just instead of his ult, just pick up his axe. AoE last word, please.
So this is an infinite AoE silence and it's still a terrible arrow. Sad deal.
You got Io with AoE stuns now.
Yeah, Tether stun is so nice. Alright, Korak orbs in onto Bulljax. Vandergrift is there as well. Bulljax will force away. Acid Rain will use the lift, but now Smiley running at Captain Cobra, doing a lot of damage. Pit is actually on the ground, so roll in from Baboon. They float on the kill on Captain Cobra. But as that happens, Korak dies to the side of Nebula, so it's a 1-for-1 core trade in favor slightly for Nebula. And now they might not have a good chance to use this Aegis. It goes down in 56 seconds. Korak is down for 50 seconds, so that's a good bit of time to be dead.
Man, that's the scariest feeling in the world. You're just a lowly pause 5. You're like, I'm gonna go deward this cliff. And next thing you know, you just see a fucking puck queue coming over the cliff, and you're like, run.
He survived, so I mean, it can't be that bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
They cost him his offlaner, but when have we ever cared of the opinions of offlaners?
I mean, offlaner's only job is to feed until his carry wins in the game.
That's something that me as a carry and you as a 4 can agree on if you don't care what offlaners think. Arena's there on Acid. Oh, Acid Rain actually has a stolen rage still, so Acid Rain's actually so good. My god.
They do.
That man is just prepared. They will grab the mid T2 tower, though, with the exorcism from Aurora and the right clicks from Smiley. And now, Radiant, knowing Aegis goes down, and literally right now, will simply run away and be content with their gains so far, maintaining that 8k gold lead. As that happened, though, they did lose the Tier 2 bottom to Nebula, so it is a Tier 2 for Tier 2 trade overall.
And Nebula is getting their XP while Radiant is not, so they might get a little bit of glimmer of hope back into the game with the XP difference. It's not a lot, but
mid lane, in comes Nier, looking for Shrek. Nier, though, is silenced, has the ult still. In comes a Coil, in comes Smiley. They're now looking for Nier. Nier is trying to stay alive, but he's been speared. He's going to go down, and now Nebula on the run. They will use the Dark Rift, but now Acid Rain actually has the Rage TP, so he should be fine as well. You're enjoying this.
It's gotta feel so bad. You're like, I'm gonna get another kill after this one fight. I'm gonna go kill the enemy support, and he just says BKBT.
Alright, it's fun to see sometimes. Regardless, Radiant are still in the mid lane. She's lift on Shrek. He has been pitted. He has been ice path. But now Captain Cobra is being stunned, is being orbed, is being killed. And Shrek actually might be the counter kill. So it's an offlaner for an offlaner trade overall. Smiley trying to hit the buildings. Fume is there trying to stop it. Roll once again in. Baboon's very deep. Korak jaunts out. Baboon rolls away. And now Funny Zone actually are fully running away at this point, saying, you know what? We're good.
And Snow wonders why I don't roll at the high ground. That's why.
Taking Snow's opinion seriously. Come on now.
You roll up the high ground, next thing you know, you're under tier 4 is dead.
He's actually seething so much right now from us doing this too. You know he is. Smiley, though, he's still playing aggressively in the middle lane. His team, looking at their vision, they actually see Nebula. Look at the rate, or no, that's dire vision. Radiant see Bulljax though, so they might just go on Bulljax. Lift is there onto Smiley, but in comes Baboon. Silence is there on Nier. Coil is there as well. Not Smiley looking for Fume and Bulljax. He's hitting Bulljax. Baboon should be fine for now, but Fume looking for Aurora. Coil once again stolen is there on Korak. Bulljax goes down. Aurora dropping low. Baboon dropping low. Fume has the Manta trying to escape, but he goes down to the right clicks of Smiley. Actually, he gets Greaves and saved for now, and Jakil on Koryak. Atos once again there on Earth Spirit. Aurora once again goes down. Baboon once again goes down. Now they're looking for Smiley. He's fighting in a 2v4. He's been Yules. He cannot rage. He is silenced. He goes down. And Nebula, they're still alive. They get a 4-for-1 trade. Bulljax for everybody but Shrek. That's a fantastic trade.
Rule number 1 of playing against Nebula, never go on Bulljax. They defend him with their lives.
Yeah, usually most teams let their 5 support die, but Nebula, they let their 5 live.
Every single time they've gone on Bulljacks this game, they've just won a fight. And it feels like they shouldn't be winning fights because they're losing every other fight.
And there's a Yules on Shrek as well, but actually they forced a BKB out. So that's the 8-second BKB from Shrek, so he's down to a 7-second BKB.
I feel like with this new BKB change, forcing out BKB charges isn't as good as it used to be. It's more about the cooldown than it is about the duration of BKB.
It being on
Like,
a
it's
cooldown
still
though means
good,
it
of
could be
course.
high ground time. Hey, Lifestealer dead, Shrek can't BKB for another 50 seconds. And with that siege unit, they are hitting.
I feel like the only problem with Nebula's draft is that their best tower hitter is a Jakiro.
I mean, they're hitting it. They're doing the damage. The tower, it's almost dead. And they actually will Dark Rift away. Fume is very low, who keeps it a trade. And they will fully Dark Rift away. Acid Rain once again had the stolen coil. And he actually will lift Bulljacks away. So we're seeing saving Bulljacks once again in action.
This man just does it all. He's like, I'm gonna save myself. You know what? I'm gonna save my +5 too.
I mean, he's just looking out for Bulljacks. And now Funny Zone, they got nothing. They got no kills. They got no towers. They got simply lost their tier 3 high ground. And they're starting to lose control of this game. Like, if you're Funny Zone, what do you do to stop the bleeding at this point?
I guess stick your Lifestealer on the front line. The way they managed to win that fight was they just killed everyone but Smiley, and then Smiley was just left by himself. And unless you're Arteezy 2 years ago when he made that armlet toggle play, I guess that is not going to win you the fight.
Apparently not. And at this point, Smiley, despite having the move speed and the slows, just can't stick on enough heroes. He's trying. He's really trying, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, I feel like if Abyssal was still a Blink cast range, this game would be over.
Thank the Lord they nerfed that, because it was way too strong.
Yeah, that just made so many heroes so good. For no reason at that too. Like it just gave so much mobility. I like seeing the game when there's less mobility. Because as a support I die less.
You know he's looking out for you, Mr. Support Player. It's never,
well,
it's never about the health of the game, it's about the health of you. Your HP bar.
I like map movement heroes. You can see some interesting ways to play the game. Like Spectre Han, you can completely play an entire different game around that than you would if you had, like, let's say, a PL or something.
Yeah, they have
But I hate
Dawnbreaker
just,
now.
like,
That's a hero of map
Yeah.
movements.
yeah, but I just like hate mobility because it's like, I have caught you, and then the next thing you know, the person's halfway across the map, and you're like, I don't know what to do.
Have you considered
It's
buying
just
more
like
lockdown?
But it's not skill though. It's just I pressed my ability and now I'm far away from you.
Alright, let's see here. Water 20 is one up here looking for Acid Rain. Acid Rain is silenced, is rebuked, is speared, and actually is dead for 75 seconds. So if Funny Zone go high ground, he will certainly have to buy back. Meanwhile, Bulljacks will barely escape from the role of Baboon, and
Damn. If only Acid Rain had stolen rage.
not this time. He actually had stolen coil, but used it on the literal ground because it was expiring. And as it happens, we see Captain Cobra is Dark Rifting away. Funny Zone, they see it, they know it. And they will instead head to the Roshan pit.
Well,
It
hey,
is
look,
once again
another DD with Roach.
Yeah, we've seen Smiley under DD at least 4 times this game, right? I can recall 3 off the top of my head. This one, the last rush fight, and the high ground fight.
I guess at least 3 then, yeah.
But once again, we'll see the Aegis go to Smiley. There will be an Aghanim shard and a cheese as well. Not sure where the shard's going to go just yet. It will go to the Mars. Okay.
Hey Badger, you want to look at Puck's inventory?
Cheese. Oh, PKP. Okay, I mean, it's the right move, I guess. Yeah, he says, you know what? There's all these stuns. Maybe I do need to buy BKB.
I call the BKB. I call the Life Stealer. What else do you want from me?
You know he's
I'm here to
crying
analyze.
inside.
I'm analyzing.
You know he's crying inside. I'm a puck player. If I buy BKB, I am like slitting my wrist like, no, I had to buy BKB. I'm less of a man now.
Yeah, it's like the same thing on Sand King. There's one time it was just like, oh, this is like a great BKB game, even though I'm Sand King. But I believe I was playing against Shrek.
Middle
And he
lane?
bought BKB like first item on the hero in one of his games. And I'm like, you know what? Just because I'm against Shrek, I'm not going to buy BKB just to show him how shit of an item it is. Like, buying BKB on Sand King just feels so wrong.
I was
do it.
convinced something was going to happen middle lane there. But, I mean, we saw Nebula try something. They were throwing out abilities, but no kills.
And they have Ricky Manta illusions cutting their waves now, so
Acid Rain's crazy.
this is definitely going to waste some of their Aegis time here. Underlord's actually going to go cut the top wave too.
Actually, I'm genuinely concerned for the ability to just get to the high grounds. Like, we're seeing Nebula, they're just being so annoying in terms of just delaying with the Ricky, delaying with the Underlord, delaying with the Void Spirit, even delaying with the Rubik! Everybody's delaying!
Yeah, like they just have so much spells that they can throw out without having to commit a hero just to clear these waves. I feel like you just have to stick the Lifestealer inside of the Earth Spirit and just hope he lands the roll.
Alright, Step is there from Nier, goes in, Korek has the coil on one, the Vest comes out, they want to kill Nier, coil is broken, but he actually steps away. BKB's popped by Radiant, Spear is there on Bojack with the arena, Captain Cobra is Dark Rifting, he'll be fine. Roll once again in from Baboon, but he's not taking a ton of damage. Dissimulate comes in, they're going forward, Orb going through. What's being stolen? It's once again open wounds. Baboon dead. Nebula chasing. They go in. They find Smiley. They will find the Aegis. It will get popped, and they will find Aurora on the backlines, but Aurora is not dead just yet. Atos. They're on Koryak. Smiley is back in the fight. Ice Path will miss from Boljax. Koryak, BKBs, looking for Fume. Boljax dropping low. He goes down. Koryak, phase shifts, still alive. They're trying to find him near. He's now taking down a good bit of damage, but he should be fine. Jakiro buys back. And Nebula are chasing. Acid Rain, orbs in. Yule's once again there on Aurora. Shrek stunned as well. Shrek very low. He steps in. Shrek uses himself. Aurora finally goes down. Shrek blinks away to the left, but he still will go down. Double kill to Fume. And now the fight finally over. And Nebula survive. They get the Aegis.
Nice.
They get 3 kills, and it's at the cost of a Boljax buyback.
Can I point something out?
Go for it.
This is another fight that Nebula has won, and guess what happened? Radiant engaged on Bulljax. Why? Just stop. Just stop, please.
I think they just want to kill Boljax.
I don't understand. How do they only win fights when Bulljax gets started?
Maybe he's just too easy of a target. We're seeing Smiley actually is Ice Path
God,
taking a
he's
lot of
just
damage.
dead.
Coils in. Smiley still alive. Nier now silenced. Radiant come in. Roll is there. Stuns up Captain Cobra. We're seeing Siphons. We're seeing Tricks of the Trade. We're seeing Baboon go down. Now Dark Rift is there. Dire trying to escape. Smiley goes down. And she cancels the Dark Rift. Looking for Aurora. He now diebacks. In
He has
Nebula.
no buyback on Lifestealer.
They have a chance to win this Dota game right here, right now. 3 heroes dead, 3 heroes no buyback. Shrek is back in 15, but they're running out of base. It's a full set of racks taken by Nebula, and they're looking for more.
Smiley jumped inside of the Earth Spirit in order to live, but then the problem was
Step
the
in,
Earth
correct
Spirit rolled in.
BKBs, kills Underlord. Now Arena is there. It's on Nier. They need this kill. He's being hit by Tier 4s. Nier is going to go down. And now Fume chasing with his BKB towards the fountain even. Acid Rain has to rebuke. In comes the roll once again on Fume. Acid Rain, he's TPing, but he's been Yules. He's going to be dying here. Fume, Mantis trying to escape. Dire trying to retreat, but they have no Underlord. They have no Void Spear. Spear, they're on Boljax. Acid Rain, tanking tower. He goes down to Koryak. And Fume will die to the coil as well. And Boljax somehow still alive and will escape. But if you're Funny Zone, you have defended.
It's become a game of throws now.
You love to see it. You love to see your Game of Throws here. At this point, it's anybody's game. Both teams are trying their hardest to lose this game, it appears. And Fume is dead for 73 with no buyback, so Funny Zone might go for a Rax of their own, with Smiley respawning in just 5 seconds.
They do have a full BKB now on the Earth Spirit. I think one of the problems just showed in that last team fight where Nebula don't have anything to deal with a BKB. They have Fume to hit someone, and that's about it. They have to kite out these BKBs, and it's very difficult when Lifestealer just has one built in.
Speaking of hero with the built-in BKB, he is now hitting the high ground tower. We're seeing Baboon roll into Captain Cobra. He will kick as well. Arena is there, spear as well onto Captain Cobra. Captain Cobra will go down, but he does have buyback. Exorcism is popped. Captain Cobra buys back on Underlord. We're seeing range racks die. Nether racks taking a ton of damage and will go down as well. Funny Zone, do they want more? They have equalized the barracks. And they are on the retreat, actually. Alright!
Up soon.
I mean, we have found a, we found an even Dota game once again. It's a 10k gold lead for Funny Zone, but the buildings are even, and Nebula have a lot of tools to win these fights still. They will actually smoke as 3, but Funny Zone, they have a ward on the high ground, they're aware. They're looking for Koryak, Pit is there. The BK pop like Koryak, Coil is there, on 2-2. They're looking for more, they're rolling in, they once again want Captain Cobra. If the kill, it is a dieback, BKBs being popped, Baboon dropping low. Captain Cobra will go down, both of them will die, and now they're looking for more. Bulljacks will literally TP away from the fight, will cancel it, but Smiley will die there, and they will find Aurora as well. Shrek, Koryak, still fighting. Bulljacks dropping low, near, he's chasing, looking for anything. And that anything might be Koryak, who actually jaunts away to the left, will rift as well, is being fade bolted, but there is no astral step on near, but they still want to get more. Arena, there from Shrek, just to secure the retreat. And now, once again, another crazy fight. This time, Funny Zone participating in the Game of Throws. My god.
Alright, they didn't initially engage on Bulljacks, but as soon as they killed Cobra, that's who they went for, and that's when they started losing the fight. Just saying. Just ignore Bulljacks. Just let him live. Don't touch him. Just fight everyone else.
We saw in the team fight, Bulljacks literally TP'd away. He's like, wait a minute, they're not going to hit me. I'll just cancel my TP. I'll just keep fighting. This is just
Although
intense.
There is a basher now up on the Ricky, so this might be Dyer's way to kill these BKB heroes.
We're seeing a spell prism on Ricky. That might be what he needs. Brings Trickster Trade cooldown down to 6.6 seconds, despite having no
oh god,
no old Acronym Scepter pre-nerf.
That's cursed.
That actually might be what he needs this game, having that CDR there on both the Blink and of course the Trickster Trade.
Looks like Lifestealer is now going for a Nullifier as his final item.
Makes sense. Certainly a nice item to kite people around. Just always some good buffs to purge off here, so it's a logical move. Gives him a good bit of damage as well. And all right, Funny Zone are smoked. Looking at Nebula Vision, they have literally zero idea what's going on. Question is, what can Funny Zone do with the smoke?
Funny Zone also doesn't know where any of the Dyer heroes are, so this could be very dangerous.
They are headed in Bulljack's direction. Is it possible we will once again see... Actually, they'll find Nier instead. He is silenced. He is lifted. Mars Arena there on Acid Rain. Coil now stunning up Nier, but Nier will run away. Fume, BK being Trickster Trading.
Oh, that's an Ag Coil by Acid Rain.
Goes down. He buys back. Fume still trading. Looking for Baboon. Baboon actually will be fine. Actually, he will die now. Nier still trading. BK's popped by the Radiant Spear onto bringing the Dire away. And now Funny Zone fully on the retreat. And they appear to have found a retreat. Alright.
Yeah. Acid Rain had Waning Rift, and he could have maybe got on to the other side of the Mars ulti, but instead he ends up stealing Coil and gets a 3-mana Axe Coil.
Yeah, certainly a nice coil to steal. Almost a little bit surprised they didn't get more out of that, but now... We saw it earlier with the second Roshan having a relatively short respawn, and now the third Roshan also has a relatively short respawn. And Nebula's time will claim the Roshan. It is half HP, and Funny Zone no, but they're not fast enough to get to the pit in time, I don't think. Or are they?
Unfortunately for the Dire, it is not an Axe and Roche, it is Refresher Shard.
Never mind, we're seeing a Roche on fight. Mars Marina is there on 4. Coil is dropped. Roshan dropping. It has been snatched by Nier. But Nebula taking so much damage. Aegis popped. Captain Cobra goes down. Fume dropping low. Bulljax dropping low. Fume blinks away, trying to survive. He's tricksing up the trade. Spear will miss. Fume pops BKB, but still ends up barely surviving, but he ends up going down eventually. And now Smiley still looking for Nier. Nier, the lone surviving core, temporarily saved by Acid Rain, but he's been kited, he's been brought down, and Acid Rain trying to TP, and he will TP, but he's the lone survivor for Nebula. And at long last, we may have found the end of the road. All 3 cores have no buyback.
Well, Nier does. He's the only one with buyback.
I thought for some reason Jakiro was Nier. But regardless, that is 2 heroes to defend the high ground, which is going to be a very, very hard ask. That's a 60-second defense until Fume's alive, and they're hitting tier 4s.
Yeah, Ricky managed to pick up the cheese, but he just doesn't have a slot to swap it back in. Otherwise, he might live there and turn that fight. Really good engagement from the Mars there.
All right.
Split up the entire fight.
They're trying. Okay, there's a stolen coil on 2 from Acid Rain, but it's only buying time. Shrek has the arena on the floor, but
if he kills those creeps, Nier has cut the wave.
wow, that would do it. Acid Rain has been coiled as well, trying to survive. Coil will get broken. Acid Rain goes down. Nier trying to fight. Aeon Disc is popped, but he has been stunned by the spear. Is there an escape? He's trying to go through, trying to step through. Has to assimilate. Still has the cheese. Might pop it. Remnant is on the ground. The Yule's up. Smiley. Once again, we're seeing Captain Cobra has respawned. Fume up in 15. Ancient being hit. Exorcism. It's hitting it. Smiley. He rages. They're all popping BKBs. They're all hitting Ancient. And the game will go to Funny Zone. In game 1 for the losers bracket quarters is a Radiant victor.
Well, if you have come to watch exciting Dota, this is it.
Yeah, we have found it. Both teams made a real, how do I put it, vigorous effort at both winning and losing that game. Is that how I put it?
Yeah, there was some questionable team fights either way.
Yeah, both teams went on some ill-advised fights, but the last ill-advised fight was that Roshan pit fight, obviously. We saw the 4-man arena from Shrek, the 4-man coil, I believe, from Korak as well, and it's just too much damage. At this point, if you're Nebula, now what? That was a game 1 where I think both of us liked that Funny Zone draft a lot. What are they looking at in terms of, like, it's like trying a similar draft, just do some different bans, different picks, or is it, do you completely mix it up, just pick different style of heroes to beat this Funny Zone team?
I think they had the right idea, they just didn't have an answer for this lifestealer, so when they did kill him, it just took so much.
Let's see here. Okay, I better adjust this thing on my OBS. There we go. I have Funny Zone 1-0 Nebula on the screen. Perfect. Now people don't have to ask me, hey, who won game 1? It's on the screen. I'm just really impressed with the way that that Acid Rain played that game, though. I thought Acid Rain played really well. I thought despite the 14 deaths, I thought Baboon played extremely well as well. We saw so many times in this game where saw the Earth Spirit just break the coil of the puck, and it resulted in a lot of early kills that gave Funny Zone the momentum they needed to really take the lead earlier in the game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good combo. Puck sometimes struggles to kill heroes with coil because coil doesn't do that much damage unless you break it. So the kick to push him out can really finish off some kills.
Now we're trying to figure out who is going to be playing what side of the map this time. We're seeing a 5-minute break for now. Should probably change my my Twitch thing. Let's go over to prediction. Let's choose outcome. Funny Zone Game 1 victory. Complete prediction. Okay.
Trying to go get something to drink. Otherwise, I'm going to fall asleep game 2.
It's a very good idea. I'll probably end up doing the same once you get back and once the draft starts. It's actually been a pretty hype series. Obviously, there's some real bad blood between members of both teams. I think both teams, they want this win out of more of a moral sense than a strategic sense. I mean, obviously, if you lose, your tournament's over, but I think if you ask Bulljacks if there's any one team in the field you want to beat, this would be the field. So at this point, I'm sure they're talking, all right, how are we going to bounce back? How are we going to win this game number 2? What do we need to do to stop Smiley from following so much? What do we do to stop Koryak from having a huge impact in the game? Because hypothetically, this was a very bad puck game. They have the Ricky Silence, they have the Underlord Pit, they have the Void Spirit, all 3 heroes, all 3 cores should match up well into the puck. Yet puck, nearly number 1 in net worth when all said and done. In their lanes, we're relatively even, but should they have been even? Yeah, probably, actually. I'm not seeing any lane where I can really get a huge lead there. Maybe they seem to be very mindful of these Baboon rotations, because we saw Baboon's rotations really open this game up, rotating bottom lane, rotating middle lane, finding a kill on both the rotations. So perhaps it's one of those, hey, make sure this 4 does not take over our Dota game type stuff. Nebula will grab a Radiant this time around, so I'm going to change my OBS thing, actually. Let's go to OBS. I'm going to change that to Nebula 01 Funny Zone. There we go. So that way when Funny Zone are on the dire side, they will have the dire-sided thing on OBS. I put some money on it not being tagged in the lobby, so probably a worthwhile investment of 8 seconds of my time. What is Fume posting? Fume is posting The High Road by JoJo. I'm going to ignore that. Now, Captain Cobra seems to understand. If you click the link, you'll have a virus that makes you listen to Fume's music. He appears to understand. For those who are just joining, welcome back, Burke. For those who are just joining, though, we are in the intermission between Game 1 and Game 2. Funny Zone did take Game number 1 in this Losers Bracket quarterfinals. Winner will go on to Losers Semis to play Step Bro, I'm Stuck. Loser out of the tournament, tied for 5th and 6th. Alright, everybody is ready. We're going to be jumping back in. And once the draft starts, actually I'm going to grab some water as well, because water, it's pretty nice. Big fan of water here.
Water isn't going to keep me awake.
When did you wake up today, anyways?
6 o'clock. I went to bed at 3.
Well, yeah, we might be in for a few more hours of Dota.
I know, and I had 8 hours of Fireground training today. I'm dying.
It seems like you're just stringing mistake after mistake at this point. Just doubling down on your mistakes.
I think I can go to sleep before 1 a.m. even if I tried.
Good point, good point.
No. I'm a degenerate.
Alright, G's are in the chat. Hopefully we are going to see a jump into stuff, but I will be right back. I need water, damn it.
Right,
water.
Let's say anything.
Water.
Your worst nightmare. There.
Water.
Here's we have flopped sides and picks. Both teams opting for first pick, and the other team opting for Radiant. First pick does seem good again, now that you actually get last pick of the first phase and last pick of the second phase. Second pick was a little bit broken with 8 pick and 24 pick. Oh, are they aiming to pick PL this game? They banned Razor, but then ended up not picking Lifestealer. Maybe they'll ban Sand King and then not pick PL. You can tell it's the pause 5 drafting for the funny zone though. Ban Bounty Hunter. No one wants to play against that crap. Oh, they still ban the Razor. Maybe they just want both options open.
I am back. Not a Grimstroke.
And Razor. Maybe they want to pick PL and Lifestealer.
We are going to have a repeat performance, though, on the Acid Rain Rubik. Went pretty well game 1. Might go pretty well game 2.
He doesn't have Enrage, though. Feels bad.
He doesn't have Enrage yet.
Run it back. Run it.
Live Stealer!
I want to see green Rubik teleporting away from 5 enemies.
Certainly way to do it. Might encourage Live Stealer to go Basher next game.
I don't know, Basher still feels like such a value item, but Abyssal Blade feels like crap now.
Yeah, it's still quite good at man fighting. This is not that instant burst item it used to be, you know?
Oh no. Cobra got his Pangolier.
The question at this point is, are we going to see more Earth Spirit? It was first phase last game, right?
Yeah, first pick overall. Well, second pick overall. It was Rubik and then Earth Spirit.
It's still on the board if they want it. Would be a Grimstroke Earth Spirit support duo, though, which seems kind of weird. I don't know if it is kind of weird, but it's available. Love for the Bloodseeker instead. We'll grab that instant plug-and-play Grimstroke combo, put on Soulbind, put on Rupture, probably win some fights, especially against a hero like Pangolier with that combination. That's a sad day to be Pangolier, dear God. Like, is Captain Cobra's Pangolier so good to the point that you just are fine with this? That just seems so rough for Pangolier.
Maybe. It might be.
He better hope so. This is not a fun game to be Pango. We now are into that second ban phase. We're going to see the draft will start to come together. Both teams have one core, one support. Are we seeing an entire top lane, side lane, duo on duo action with these heroes showing right now?
Maybe.
We might just see literally Bloodseeker Grimstroke into Pangolier Rubik, right? Wouldn't be that out of the ordinary.
That's a weird lane, though. I think Pangolier wins it until level 6.
Would Shrek play offlane Bloodseeker?
Maybe. I wouldn't
Seems
doubt
like a
it.
weird. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it either, but it feels weird, you know? We are going to see a very different overall draft, though, with both Puck and Earth Spirit being banned by Nebula this time around, so... Will be no Koryak, Puck, will be no J-Curdo, Baboon, Earth Spirit. And then Funny Zone is banning out Core, Jug, PL, Ursa. No, get it out of my Dota game, which is fair. All heroes you would not want in your Dota game, if you want to enjoy Dota. Any bold predictions on heroes before you see anything, or no? You gave the bold Lifesteal prediction last game. I suppose not that bold. Ended up paying off. Any shots in the dark this time? Deep in thought?
I'm thinking.
Real deep in thought.
Maybe a troll warlord or a maybe PA.
Alright, so we are waiting on one of two different hard carries.
Oh,
Troll?
I just thought about this. What about Deuce?
Justify it.
What the hell does Bloodseeker do to a Deuce? She's gonna stand still anyways.
I guess just kite her around, put a Rupture, put a Blood right down. Because if she can't move around, even if you don't Rupture, how does she escape Blood right?
I think it might be an Invoker coming out by the Funny Zone.
Interesting. We have a more safe pick for now. We have the classic save your core hero support for Bulljax. Will be the 5 Oracle. In that Funny Zone, say it right. Now we have part of the safe lane put together. That's the Oracle plus some carry. I would expect Funny Zone to grab their support here, right? Is that a fair assessment to make? Saying, hey, we're just going to grab support and be done with it?
Probably. I don't think they want to show their offlaner without seeing the carry. Typically how first pick work at least.
If Nebula's sealing real crazy, they can just show their mid at 17.
Okay. Now that is interesting. Because that's a lot of good spells for Rubik to steal. It's not really good against Panko, and you have an Oracle to purge everything. And stop all of your damage with one spell.
Maybe they're thinking some kind of carry that cooperates well with it, other than Bloodseeker. Maybe they think like a Bloodseeker 3 or something.
Well, like a Morphling Middle or something?
Perhaps.
Troll's pretty obvious once you pick the Oracle, right?
Yeah, you said it before the Oracle pick, though. You were, I'm happy I prodded you for that prediction of Troll, because it paid off. We have Troll. You get to say, maybe I am a real 7K, I actually understand Dota.
They might pick a Night Stalker here on the Dire.
That'd be
a fun lane.
That'd be a Night Stalker Willow lane into Troll Oracle. Is that a good lane for Night Stalker Willow?
You're not going to win that lane, no matter what offlaner you pick with a Dark Willow at this point.
That's fair.
Just pick a hero for the game.
Funny Zone have a bit of a lack of stun. Is it possibly like a return to Mars like last game? Possibly a Centaur. Obviously Sand King bans, so that's not an option. What do they think in terms of types of offlaners here? Alright, their offlaner is going to be Bloodseeker, apparently. And then they'll go to Smiley Slark. We have casted Smiley Slark this season, right?
I don't remember.
Correction, I have casted Smiley playing Slark. I'm not sure if you were there for it or not.
I don't know, I dodged you a couple times. I might have dodged one of those games.
That's fair. Wouldn't have shocked me, but I believe it went well last time. I can probably check it on Dota Buff. You know what? I am going to do that. I am going to go to League of Lads Season 6. I'm going to look at the Funny Zone, because I am 100% sure there is going to be some real Slark Dota in there. Let's do a little clear. Okay, we got Funny Zone. Yep. It was Funny Zone up against Marty Chang Slayers, and Funny Zone won. I believe I was there for that.
It still looks like a good Invoker game for the Funny Zone. Gives them that team fight that they kind of need.
Yeah, especially with all these mid laners already being banned. I mean, Storm, Void Spirit, Ember, Leshrac, Puck, all banned. So you're starting to run out of mid lane options eventually, you know? You're simply going to run out of mid laners. I mean, all spirits are banned. Puck, but you don't really want to pick Quap or Magnus or Shadow Fiend, so maybe the Invoker just is the pick for them. See, maybe SF could work as well. It doesn't seem like that bad of an SF game.
SF could work for Dire, yeah.
Okay, they go Kunkka. They go, you say, you know what? We're going to grab another melee core. This one very tanky. We're going to survive the Pangolier, perhaps. Because Pango can't really solo kill any of those heroes, right? Between the cores.
I think you'd be surprised.
Because Bloodseeker ruptures the Pango, Slark just uses abilities, and Kunkka just has HP, right?
Yeah, but I'd feel hard set to believe that you might just want to rupture the troll despite the Oracle being there. Because I don't think Slark will necessarily be enough to bring down this troll with that Oracle being behind him. Slark, in theory, should win that matchup forward of... Now that's interesting, because there's a Grimstroke in this game.
Yeah, that's a really, really interesting, actually.
However, he should dominate this mid lane. I've played Kunkka many of times in the Necrophos, and it's not fun.
No, I was going to say, I don't play Kunkka, I don't play Necro, I don't see either hero picked much nowadays, so I'm going to trust you on that one.
I mean, the few times I do play mid, I typically play Sand King or Kunkka, so oftentimes they pick Necro to counter my heroes, so...
They don't have the greatest tools for the Necro here. I mean, they have some silences, but other than that, it's a pretty free Necro game.
I'd actually be interested to see if they put the Necrophos in the side lane and the Pango middle.
It wouldn't shock me.
That Slark matchup.
They have definitely put Cobra middle on heroes like Timbersaw and Pangolier, so it could be Cobra middle Pango this game as well.
It appears they're just going to leave them in the same matchup. Cobra actually looks... it looks like he thinks he's just going to win the lane because he's picked an Orb of Venom. He might just be looking to outtrade them.
He's got Orb of Venom, Quelling Blade. Like, that man has very little regen. Perhaps a bit ballsy by Cobra, but I mean, he knows his hero. Certainly better than we do, considering he is some kind of disgusting level of Pangolier player.
Well, I always find it funny. This team likes to bicker with each other. Cobra says that Pango beats Jug in lane, and Fume says that Jug beats Pango in lane, and of course each one is the hero spammer of the opposite hero.
I mean, they can test that. They can literally go in a lobby and just practice 2v2s, and they can figure that out.
One of these times, they just need a 1v1 mid, Pango versus Jug. See what happens.
That's not the same as like a 2v2 side lane, though. Like, a 2v2 side lane is very different than a 1v1 mid lane.
Yeah, but the support is obviously going to determine like who wins that matchup pretty hard. It's like Slark versus Underlord. If the pause 4 for Underlord has any sort of damage spell and is ranged, the Slark typically loses that lane. But if you have like just another melee hero on pause forward, that Slark wins the lane typically.
But still, after the bounty runes, it is 2 apiece. As you saw last game, no fights at the runes. Both teams 5-manned at 1 rune, and now we're seeing safe laners return to lanes. Smiley and Aurora once again headed to the top lane. Bulljax and Fume once again headed to the bottom lane. I should probably put a prediction on Twitch real fast. 1 second. Okay, let's go to prediction.
Trying to eat a crunchy bar, but fucking sponge toffee's so loud.
Start prediction. Who will win game 2? Okay. I started the prediction for game 2. We're good. Just in time. Regardless, we're seeing a bit of brawling in every single lane so far. Shero's losing HP in literally every single lane. Seeing Baboon actually take a good bit of damage, but it is a good bit of trading damage on the Bulljacks. Baboon and Bulljacks both very low. Blood rate coming through. Bulljacks should die, but yeah, never mind. He will simply get the kill there on Bulljacks. Will not get a counter kill onto Baboon. And First Blood, last game was drawn by Bulljacks. This game drawn with Bulljacks' own blood. Maybe I was a little bit too deep on that one, but still. They are harassing Fume bottom lane with the roots. But he'll be fine. He will simply take a little bit of damage and walk away.
I just realized this is a very good game for Rubik. When he hits level 6, if he steals Stroke of Fate, it's instant cast.
I mean, we mentioned before the Horn that Captain Cobra felt pretty confident in his lane, but that man's dead. And Acid Rain has been Stroke of Fate and will die to Smiley as well, so 2 kills for Funny Zone in this top lane. Now it's 3-0 on the scoreboard so far.
Now, obviously, both cores thinking they can win their lane, both picking up Orb of Venom.
And so far headed in the direction of Funny Zone. And then middle lane, it is in favor of Nier, but not heavily so far. Only up by 2 last. It's in Koryak. He's staying at 11-1. It's a very even lane so far. Seeing a bit of trading mid lane. Koryak is taking a good bit of damage, but he has 2 salves. He has 2 salves. He will eventually walk away and use a salve and be completely fine. And once again supports trading in the bottom lane very heavily. Bulljacks and Baboon in a melee to the death.
Cobra's
Baboon,
in trouble. Never mind.
Actually, they are going to stun up on Acid Rain as well. We'll ignore bottom lane for now. They're running at Acid Rain. They are running at him. Stroke of Fate is up in 1 second. Will be pumped faked for now. Will miss on Acid Rain. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Bulljacks very low. He will salve. Shrek running at him, but will fake back. Yeah, he'll simply return to the lane. Both teams trying to fight still, but no kills for now. Keyword for now. They will try again in about 35 more seconds. We're seeing Fume actually pretty low on regen as well. There's no salves remaining for the Radiant in the bottom lane. Only tangos. And with the blood rate coming through, they're just bothering Fume's game so far. He's only 17-4 on Troll, which is, I'm sure, less than what he wants in the lane so far, considering Shrek is also at 17-3. Alright, let's see here. What is Acid Rain up to? He's in the middle lane area. Xmark, Torrent are there on Nier. We have Aurora rotating over as well, but he will simply cancel that TP. And bottom lane Baboon taking a lot of damage, but he'll be fine. He is simply a Dark Willow. Belljax, though, is going... Oh, not enough damage. Stick was used by Baboon, and now Shrek will look for the counter kill. He's much faster than Bulljacks, and will secure the kill there onto Oracle. Now 4-0 in favor of the Funny Zone. Yeah, Bulljacks really wanted that kill, and now Shrek running at Fume as well, blood rate. It's just so much damage. Dear God.
Nier actually might die in the mid lane here.
He dies to tower shots. Dear... Oh, everywhere. It's... Apparently it was a genuine outplay, because that's not even a flame tip. That's a genuine, like, you outplayed me tip from Nier there.
Yeah, Koryak only did 459 damage to this Necro. The rest was just tower shots.
I'm sure he had to have X-marked him under tower there, right?
Yeah.
That has to be the only way. Yeah, every lane so far, it's not going particularly well for Nebula. They're once again looking for a Fume, but this time the roots will not hit. There will be no Bramble Mates rooting up, but it will be still a good bit of damage there on the Troll, who only has a Fairy Fire and a Wand on top of the Ring of Health for regen, so no tangles, no salves. And Bulljacks can salve him, but The regen war is being heavily won by this Dire lane. Now, Bramble Maze once again there. They once again really want to get Fume, Shrek, Baboon both on the dive. Fume has the slows, has the axes. Blood Ray once again on the ground, but this time Fume should be fine. Yes, we currently see the Shadow Realm on cooldown, so they cannot cancel the salve from Fume from distance this time around. Though, top lane, they tried to Inkswell pounce onto Acid Rain, but pounce slightly off, so there will be no kill onto this Rubik. I mean, I was complaining last game about how boring the laning was, but this game it is non-stop action. Everywhere you go.
A lot more aggressive heroes in the early levels.
For sure. We're seeing it once again top. They once again try to throw the Inkswell on Slark. Don't get it. But you know what? If you hit like 1 out of 3, that's a good trade. Yeah. You mentioned earlier how the Oracle purges off literally everything from the Dark Willow, and Dark Willow tried to put a Cursed Crown on, but it just simply got purged right away. But as it happens top lane, both teams fighting in that 2-on-2, Aurora dropping very low, and will go down there to Captain Cobra with the assist from Acid Rain. So now Nebula are on the board, but are still down 5 kills, 2-1. Though despite that, it's only a 1k gold lead. Though bottom lane, Fume actually taking a good bit of damage, but will not die. Though back to top lane, Smiley had the pounce, but could not escape. He's being run at, but is there enough damage? There is not enough damage, so Smiley will survive there. That would have been a very, very key kill for Nebula. They barely could not find it, and now Slark has that 6, so he'll brush off all of the damage. As it happens, Asteroid actually is being gone on. Stroke of Fate is there, and they need a little more damage from the Dark Pact, and they'll find another kill there onto Acid Rain, and Captain Cobra has the roll, but this is rough.
There must have been a huge fight mid. Reaper Sight used Goriak, almost has no health. Nier had to salve up.
Yeah, and as it happens, Blood Ray secures a kill on Bojack's bottom lane. Problem with the middle lane fights is it's just, how do you watch the middle lane fights when there's also side lane fights? There's just so many fights. It's the philosophical question of our era is how does one catch all of the action? Right now, looking at last hits, though, Nier, Koryak both at the top with 53 last hits, though Nier is slightly up in denies. Looking at both the side lanes, currently we have Fume's 39 versus Shrek's 45, and as it happens, Fume is being gone on bottom lane. Shrek has the Rupture on cooldown still, and Fume should be fine. And as that happens, we're seeing Smiley with the 45 last hits outdoing Cobra's 35, so 10 CS lane lead in that lane. And now Shrek is still diving, Rupture still up in 10. They really want to kill Fume, who just has no regen. And once again, Bramble Maze on the ground. Purge is onto Fume, and Fume barely escapes, though Bulljax will not be so lucky. He is being dove very heavily. But as that happens, they are trading top lane. They want to get some kind of kill. But Captain Cobra once again dies to the Inkswell and the Pounce damage combo with the Dark Pact from Dire. And Funny Zone are just commanding a huge lead in these lanes so far. They're up 9 kills to 1. They have, nearly a 2k gold lead. It's just a massive lead at this stage in the game.
I think this game is going to come down to can Funny Zone keep pushing this pace, or are they going to, or is Nebula going to create some breathing room for themselves? Because Nebula's lineup is a little bit greedy. They don't have too many active heroes, but it is a very good late game lineup. Where on the contrary, the Dire have a lot of heroes that can just make plays and make stuff happen. But if they don't, they're definitely going to fall behind, and there's definitely heroes capable of just killing them.
As you said that, I thought Radiant were going for a top lane, but they missed Swashbuckle there onto Aurora, so simply a lack of damage there to kill that Grimstroke. Alright, once again, middle laners are in the brawl. X-Mark and the boat will miss onto Nier, but Koryak should be fine. There is not enough mana for the Reaper Scythe.
He already has a mech. What the hell?
Yeah, Brown Boots mech, and as it happens top lane, Aurora in the 3v1 gets dove, gets brought down, but it is only a Grimstroke. Relatively acceptable death, if there is one on the map.
Yeah, I think, well, speaking of bottom lane, I think they realized,
Fume actually
pretty
barely
close.
escaped there. got silenced, got Curse Crown, but TP'd in time, so good reactions there on Fume. He really wanted that kill.
I think the Radiant supports realized they couldn't really pressure this bottom lane out, so they just were letting their troll jungle and decided to pressure Slark out. However, now that they're gone, Cobra might be in some trouble here.
Yeah, he's been pounced. He has the roll, but cannot use it currently, and he simply gets brought down there by that Inkswell pounce combo once again.
Bulljack's getting going on.
Yeah, Bulljack's. I mean, there's no Rupture on them. He has the False Promise, but there's a lot of damage coming in. He will apply that. You'll simply try to keep fighting here. Maybe look for a counter kill, and 3% they will find it. But Shrek appears to be a little... Actually, maybe he's not too fast. Never mind, there's no lift for 21 seconds. It's going to have to be a troll slow if they can land it. Yeah, simply a little bit off there from Fume. Devo's slightly out of range anyways.
Smiley's getting close to finishing up this Echo Saber, so hopefully he looks to be aggressive with that, because that's definitely what they need.
Yeah, he is number one in net worth right now. He's having a fantastic game there in the Slark so far. I mean, he's been involved in 5 kills in the top lane. It's a good time for him.
I think the problem with Dire's game is they have a lot of heroes capable of winning fights early and applying a lot of pressure and clearing a lot of waves, but they don't have anything to actually hit the towers. So if they do take advantage of this early lead, it's going to take a little bit of time to push these towers.
Roll is there in middle lane. Never mind. Yeah, Roll is still there onto Baboon. Boat missed there from Koryak, but it appears as though Baboon is fine. We'll even drop the Bramble Maze just on top of that tower area to secure a retreat. Terrorize is there in Acid Rain, but it is purged by Bulljack's. Curse Crown, though, will not get purged. But it appears as though everybody is absolutely, completely fine. Nobody will die. Nobody will even take too much damage. Though as that happens, Nier is being gone on top lane. Pounce is there, but Nier has the mech. He is being Inkswell, is being silenced, taking a lot of damage. Already actually used the mech and gets brought down there once again by that huge 2-man combo. And as that happens bottom lane, Fume, Battle Transfers, he's been ruptured. He will kill Baboon, but will end up dying for it. Across the map, Funny Zone.
Spam stop command.
This is not going well for Nebula anywhere right now. Everywhere they go, they're dying. And what do they do at this point to just stop dying?
I think you gotta prepare this this Necro bottom. It's a lot harder to kill. Leave your troll to farm that jungle top, the triangle, and then shove that wave out when it gets under tower where he's safe. And then just leave your Necro mid. It's not gonna do anything good with Necro.
Maybe here's a chance for something. Captain Cobra is looking for some kind of kill on Koryak, but Koryak, as mentioned earlier, Kunkka is just so tanky. Shrek's Rupture is on cooldown, but he does have a Yules and does have a Blood Rate. But Captain Cobra will swashbuckle away, but will be under the Inkswell and the X mark. Now being silenced, still being Runek. Curse Crown is there. There is no save for now, but there is still distance to cover. And Funny Zone will not commit to cover that distance. Instead, TPing to possibly defend that top tower, though it will be after the tower is dead. Bit of a 2-man brawl going on, but looks like neither team will take any damage. Well, as happens middle lane, X-Mark is there on Captain Cobra. Haste Rune is there on Koryak, but never mind, nobody's dead still. Now we might finally find a kill, with the Rupture being on Acid Rain. Acid Rain trying to not die, but once again, there's only so much you can do to survive on that one. And as that happens, they will dive for Bulljacks. Bloodright once again on the ground. Will actually miss though, but Bulljacks will still die. Now Captain Cobra trying to look for Koryak. In comes Fume. Needs a root, needs something to cancel his TP. Has to be 2 shots to get it, and he will not get the root to cancel that TP. And now Nier wants anything with this Reaper Scythe, but cannot find anything.
Gotta be the classic Necrophos, just Reaper Scythe the +5. Show dominance.
He wanted it, but he couldn't even find it thanks to that Phantom's Embrace. And as it happens, he's being silenced once again by Bloodright middle lane. He's been under the Curse Crown. He's now being soulbound to Captain Cobra. The roll is over. In comes X-Mark, in comes Scythe. They will find Baboon, but there's a boat there on 2-2. Nier now dead. They're looking for Cobra. He has been pounced. They are hitting him. They do a little bit more damage. And thanks to the everything from those 4 heroes, they will find a double kill for Smiley. And Phony Zone
This
will
is
even look for
exactly-
more. X-Torrent there onto Bulljax. Phantom's Embrace there as well, but there is a Stolen Torrent to delay and actually keep Bulljax alive. You were saying before that?
This is exactly what Funny Zone want to do. They just want to constantly fight, apply pressure wherever they can. They're a lot stronger early game than this Radiant team is. The only problem is that they need to take towers, but that does get solved by these cart waves. However, Smiley can be in trouble here potentially.
Reaper Scythe
Might
is
be
still on
just
cooldown though, so you'll only find a kill on Aurora with the Slash Buckle.
There's a full grease completed on Nier now.
Yeah, Nier actually has a way to purge the silence now with that Guardian Greaves. He's even going Yules for another one, but as that happens, X-Mark is there on Nier. Bloodright is there, but this Greaves to purge will actually get used. But it appears as though nobody is dying. Simply 8 heroes sitting and fighting, Fume, hitting Jungle Grapes with Beauty Fury.
Yeah, this is what Radiant want though, is they want to take these fights, and they don't care if they kill anyone, just as long as nobody dies.
As it happens, they're looking for Koryak. Koryak is under assault, actually will die to the damage from Nier. The roll is in. It is looking for Shrek the Green Knight. Bloodright on the ground, but will not delay, or will not really stop that death from happening. And now Nebula, they are stopping the bleeding. They are putting their plan in action. They've gotten 2 kills on cores. And as that happens, little Fume over there is becoming a big Fume, simply by hitting these creeps unopposed with that B-Fury.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need time and space. He went Battle Fury first item, which is obviously greedy, but kind of needs it as a Troll Warlord. However, he is going for a BKB, so either that's to weather the potential storm coming in from the enemy, or they're looking to actually fight on the Radiant. Either that, or he's just queued it up and potentially is going to pick up a farming item later on if he feels he doesn't need it yet.
And the question of the day at this point is, do Nebula need to actively start to stop this Slark from farming, or are they simply content with having both carries farm?
I think they're content having both carries farm. Slark doesn't really have a farming item. Echo Saber and Yasha aren't great farming items. However, Slark doesn't really build farming items. He typically wants to go for kills. And now that Nier has these Greaves, the Radiant are looking a lot stronger in these fights, and can start taking them a little bit better.
Alright. Funny Zone are up to something funny. They are smoked on 3. Boat is up on correct, so everything is there for these 3 heroes. And they have Shrek joining them on the rendezvous, but he's not under that smoke. So perhaps he's even some kind of bait there. But regardless, they are 3 headed to the Tri-Camp, possibly into Fume. Fume has Battle Trance. X-Mark is there. Inkswell coming in onto Koryak, and it will stun up Fume, but Battle Trance was there in time. Now, Soulbind, Pulse Shamas, both there on Fume. Fume trying to fight. Rupture is through. I'm not sure until Captain Cobra. And now Fume running away. Captain Cobra trying to fight, but is stuck there. Now able to move under that Rupture. Now Aurora dead, Cobra dead, Baboon dead. Fume still being gone on. It has been purged. 3% coming through will kill Koryak, but it is in exchange for Fume. Now Acid Rain near Bulljax looking for something. They've already killed 3. Now they want Shrek. They've slowed him up. There's a Yules from the Bloodseeker. And now Acid Rain actually is hasted. Has stolen Bloodright. Is looking for a Shrek. They actually might just find this kill. They have Telekinesis in 1. They have the Fate Bolt already being used. Lift is there. In comes Nier. Doing a little bit more damage. Body Block's coming through. They actually will find Shrek the Green Knight with, once again, good individual plays there from Acid Rain Rubik. And overall, it's a 4-for-2 team fight in favor of Nebula. And they wanted to fight and get the kills, and they got the kills, right?
They're starting to bring back this lead. Obviously, Sark is still a little bit happy with this. He survives that fight, picks up a bit of permanent agility. Unfortunately for Troll, he does die. However, he did live for such a long time that the Dire just were forced into a bad situation.
That's all in situations where Fume's in the sort of catch-22 where if he doesn't re-engage, his team dies, but because he re-engaged, he died and he can't farm. There's no good play for him.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, he made the right play to engage and die and let his team win that fight. Just because now that his team is stronger, they can make more space for him.
That is true. Looking over at the hero net worth chart, though, there is one very obvious outliner, and that is Smiley, who is nearly 3k ahead of any other hero. Has the Echo, has the Yasha, actually going for an Aghanim Scepter, and will have it for the next fight. And as that happens, Acid Rain, up to some crazy stuff, once again survives.
Who needs Rage TP when you have Torrent TP?
It turns out you play a Rubik, and there's basically no heroes where there's bad spells to steal. If I had to give you the worst possible Rubik game, there's still something useful to steal.
Yeah, I think the worst spell you could probably steal is Dark Pact. And that is it.
I mean, Blood Rage not great this game either, but...
Blood Rage is alright. Stick it on your Necrophos, he doesn't care. Or stick it on your Troll Warlord while he's ulting.
Actually, that would do it. That would do it.
I mean, you're probably going to steal a different spell, but at the end of the day, it's not completely useless.
I have gotten
when are you going to be in melee?
Dark Pact. I can purge off the Willow Curse Crown. Yeah, we got it. I don't need Bulljax.
Use it before he gets silent.
That's
some interesting posturing from either team here. Could be a potential fight.
They're both thinking about it. It's on top of their mind. Like, hey, I want to fight, but I don't want to start this fight. You know, I want a good fight. But if both teams want a good fight, then perhaps there is no fight.
Troll getting close to a BKB here. I think Bloodseeker has a... He has a Sange. I don't know if he's turning that into a Halberd yet or not. He does have a BKB queued up. Okay, yeah, he does have the Halberd done.
Yeah, it's on the way currently. As that happens, though, Radiant did smoke As3 into the Roshan pit with Fume, Cobra, and Bulljax, and they simply will find the Aegis, and there actually is no trade. No tier 2 tower or anything. Funny Zone caught with their pants down. And they used to have that 4k gold lead, but Nebula, they're starting to put their draft together, and now they're headed bottom for Koryak. They have slowed him. In comes that Rolling Thunder. Onto the high ground, they want to get anything. Near, heading up Shrek. Shrek has been Yules. Smiley in the backlines looking for Bulljack. Soulbind there on both course. In comes Reapers. Down goes Shrek. Smiley trying to fight up with Fume. Boat it comes there. Onto 2. Near dropping low. Near is going to go down, but Fume's still fighting. Battle Trance is there looking for Koryak. Is with the range. Down goes Koryak. As that happens, Bulljax goes down. Smiley under tower is being slowed. Pounces away, but as that happens, Fume gets Baboon looking for Aurora. Gets that triple kill, and now it's solely Smiley on the retreat. It's a 4-for-2 fight in favor of Nebula, and you mentioned it, how they have these better late game fights, but did you expect them to win a fight so hard at the minute 23 mark?
I mean, they just had nothing for this troll. He just gets Oracle ulted, and he pops ult near the end of it, and comes out of it with just full HP, doesn't use BKB, doesn't even have to waste Aegis or anything, just sort of hitting enemy heroes. It's pretty nice when they have 2 melee heroes and a support with no escape. You just freely hit whoever you want, get all your health back.
He had the BKB the entire time, but could not use it. And as that happens, we are seeing Smiley look for Cobra, but miss both pounces. Rolling Thunder should secure the retreat, or even offensively bulleting onto Smiley. So Smiley might be alone, but he has teammates on the way. Actually, just Stolen Rupture there onto Smiley. That's a huge Stolen Rupture from Acid Rain. And now they're hitting Soulbind there on the Necro and onto the Troll. Troll, very low, Aegis will go down, but now can they kill Nier? Nier has the Yules, has the heals, actually has no Reaper Sight that is still on cooldown. Curse Crown there on Fume. BKB is popped, but he is ruptured. He's trying to hold the grounds, but as that happens, Smiley looking in the backgrounds for Acid Rain. Rubik, very low, actually will not go down. Now Smiley on the retreat. As it happens, Boat is there onto Fume, but he is there under that false promise. Aurora stunning up heroes. Smiley looking for Fume. Battle Trance once again there, and now Nier trying to turn onto Shrek and onto Koryak. Koryak half HP. Fume actually goes down. Reaper Scythe once again up, but not before Nier can get it off. He is silenced, and he will Yules himself, but his team is already dead, and it will be a full... Never mind, Nier's still alive, but this is only delaying the inevitable. He'll go down. Ultra kill for Koryak, and it's a full 5-man wipe for the Funny Zone.
Yeah, they try and go on Smiley, but they don't really have anything to lock him down or find him. This Ag Shard on Slark just gives him a second ulti. And never really gives a chance for Fume to hit him, and that's the one way to kill him. Either that or Reaper Scythe, but Necrophos is so slow, he can just make sure he's not within range of that.
It's crazy. The last fight was so one-sided in favor of Nebula, but this one's even more one-sided in favor of Funny Zone, despite being into 6 lives.
Game of Thrones.
Seems to be the moral of the series. But now Funny Zone will convert that fight win into something of value. Tier 3 dead. Melee racks are dead. They're now hitting on the ranged. There is a rupture onto Captain Cobra. And Bulljax is now dead, but Funny Zone, regardless, are on the retreat. Aurora being hit. Smiley turns to fight. Soulbind is there onto Captain Cobra. Fume BKBs. He's hitting. Aurora dead. Cobra dead. Smiley retreating. Has a pounce. Has another one available very, very soon. So now Dire will try to fully retreat. Terrorize will hit on Fume. And it appears to be the end for now. Unless Korak somehow gets caught out here. But Funny Zone, we have a very good string of events that they get 6 kills, Aegis down, a buyback from Bulljax, and they get their axe and they lose a Grimstroke.
Yeah, the Radiant are struggling a little bit with catch here. It was a little bit rough. They unfortunately lost their Oracle to just a Conquer combo in the backline and a Bloodseeker. And then when your Pango gets ruptured like that, your Troll just doesn't have a static target to hit. He's kind of sitting there with his pants down, unable to actually hit anyone.
That's the sad tale so far for Fume is he doesn't die, but he's just not doing enough damage. Which is usually the opposite problem on Troll, where it's like, alright, I got the damage, how do I not die? This time he just doesn't die, but can't do the damage. Now at this point, Funny Zone, they are once again going middle for Acid Rain. Pounce is there, but Nebula are trying to fight. Boat was stolen, was hit on Smiley, and they actually will have Reaper Sight there on Shrek. So Shrek dead for a very long time. False Thomas is there in Acid Rain. Smiley pouncing through. Rolling Thunder is going through. Soulbind is there. Onto the Necro and the Fume. Fume fighting Korak very low. Cobra looking for the Grimstroke. As that happens, Necro dropping very low. Has a heal, but he is silenced. He will go down. And now Baboon will be the trade, but it's so far a 2-for-1 in favor of Nebula. And Nebula, half stolen, terrorized, will completely miss it, but they are still looking for more. Pounce once again onto Captain Cobra. Axes will miss from Fume. And we appear to have found the end to the fighting for now. Yeah, Nier is having a really rough time surviving these team fights. I don't even know what he bought. Huh.
He bought a Yules, but his farm has really slowed down. He hasn't been able to live in any of these team fights.
What was Cobra's courier doing there? I was watching the courier that entire time. I don't know why it was there. Usually I could justify something in these games, but at this time, I have no justification.
Oh, did that have a splash on it?
Yeah, it just walked right over here and died. Oh well. Courier's dead. When does Roshan respawn? It may respawn in a minute and a half, but it could be 4.5 minutes. We saw last game. The respawn windows on the Roshan were very important. In this game, could be important again.
Never mind. We're just solo down.
He may see another fight break out here. Perhaps. Korak is slowed, but he is now on that high ground. Shrek is fine for now. Terrorize is there onto Dark Willow. The Rupture is there on Acid Rain. Acid Rain has the stolen Torrent, but he gets instantly bursted down. And now, Nebula are in the retreat. May just let Bulljax die. Bulljax completely isolated and brought down. Both supports on the side of Nebula are dead. In the case of Bulljax, dead for 70 seconds with no buyback. And Fume needs to be careful bottom lane. Might just get X-marked and torrented here. Might have to simply hop that BKB. Yeah, really use it.
It's rough.
Yes,
They don't have
rough.
anything to defend now.
I mean, now with no False Promise and no BKB, it's just so hard for Fume to do anything right now. And Funny Zone will take that one set of racks they got earlier and start to look for a second. Nier has to Yules, but is still fine for now. Tower, half HP. But Radiant are defending.
I guess it doesn't matter if you don't have, if the enemy team can't hit towers, if you don't have anything to defend them with, because then they can just hit your towers.
It turns out, in this case, Fade Bolt and Swashbuckle are enough to defend it. Usually not your, your sort of high ground defending tools of fame, but this case, sufficient.
Shrek now has a full BKB.
Yeah, man's getting pretty farmed. We're seeing all of these Dire Cores have key items. I mean, BKB on Koryak, BKB on Shrek, they're just so hard to kill. On top of obviously the huge amount of items that Smiley has. But Nebula say, you know what, we're going to smoke anyways, we're going to try to fight. May find the right angle onto one of these key heroes. You do see key heroes with the day vision. Both are Swashbuckle, both are slowed. In comes that Rolling Thunder looking for anybody. Baboon is stunned. Rupture there on Cobra, but in comes Smiley in the backline. False Promise there onto this Rubik. Aurora dead. Nier now though is dead. Battletrance is popped. Bulljax on the run. Bulljax will go down. As it happens, Captain Cobra gets killed. So now Fume trying to fight. He's disarmed. He's cursed crowned. He's going to go down. It's a 4-for-1 trade in favor of the Funny Zone. And
Shrek.
How? I mean, it's stolen ruptured, but
he was ruptured by Rubik, and he just had max movement speed, and he just sprinted to his death.
I saw the stolen rupture, but how did the kill happen?
You just kept running.
He's like 3,000 units away from the Rubik as he dies. I guess he just didn't stop running. Regardless of that, though, Funny Zone certainly still the victors of the engagements. They have the Aegis on Smiley, and Smiley is just extraordinarily farmed. And they will once again begin on that second set of barracks. Tower is a half HP from the last attempt. Tower now dead. Another axe being siege. Pounce, huge pounce there on the Bulljack. Long distance pounce. And Bulljack's barely alive. And as it happens, Rupture is there on Smiley. Smiley sitting tier 4s apparently. Soulbind there on both these cores. Both of them are stuck. In comes the boat. Will hit on Nier. Nier goes down, but he does have buyback. Cobra very low as well. He'll get brought down. Also has buyback. Buyback popped by Cobra. Buyback popped by Nier. Fume is respawning. And this could be the last defense. Nier, Scythe there on Aurora. Aurora still alive. Terrorized there on Nier. Koryak BKB is fighting. Fume trying to defend. The False Promise is still there on to Necro. Necro actually ends up dying regardless. And now Fume, BKBs, battle transfers, but he's ruptured. He's running at anybody, but they're just kiting him around. He cannot get into anything. And Fume will go down. He has no buyback. And now Bulljax being run out by Shrek. He'll go down to Smiley, and it's over. They call it a GG. And Funny Zone, convincingly, 2-0 Nebula.
I think at the end of the day, they just had all the answers to all the heroes. That last fight there, the Oracle didn't have his false promise up, and it wasn't able to save the Pango or the Necro.
In Funny Zone, they're really putting it together. You know, they're really they're putting it together in these playoffs. They're the only team that started in losers that is still in playoffs. Every other team, Polar Ass, Pizza Dog, 5 dudes, all lost. Meanwhile, Funny Zone actually beat a team from winners in Nebula and will advance to play Step Bro I'm Stuck in the loser bracket semifinals. So, not sure when exactly that's going to be, but we're beginning to run out of series that are left. We have 4 series left in the entire season, so we're getting to the nitty-gritty at this point.
Yeah.
Overall, for Nebula, any parting words for the team that has now fallen?
I've heard some rumors that they were talking about a little bit of roster changes. I don't think some of their players got along with each other. So I do wish good luck to them in their other leagues and other series. Strong team, a lot of PMA players. Very fun to watch as well. They have a very cool play style. It's different than a lot of different teams. And I think they had a pretty good season this season. I know some of their players have some very high expectations on how they want to perform. But I think regardless of them probably not making it as far as they wanted to, they still did very well.
At this point, with the series being over, with the 2-0 victory being secured by Funny Zone, do you have any final analysis for the series before I go into my usual outro stuff?
I think Funny Zone had some pretty good drafts. They executed them very well. Not to say that Nebula didn't have good drafts. I think they also had good drafts. Just theirs were a little bit harder to execute. And I think especially for Game 2, Funny Zone's draft comes online earlier, and they executed it so well that it doesn't matter that Nebula was playing their draft pretty good as well. Just the other team's draft came online faster and they executed it perfectly. Not too many mistakes. So it was very well done.
If I had to give you one pick for series MVP, who would it be?
I'd probably give it to Baboon. His Earth Spirit gameplay was ridiculous. Had some very good plays, and then Game 2, he just outputted so much damage on this Willow. I thought it would be a little bit harder of a game for him, considering he's playing into quite a few of these Magic Community heroes, with Oracle and Pangolier. However, he still made the hero look pretty good, considering it's not a very meta hero.
I'll agree with you on that one. I thought he had a great series, especially Game 1, but Game 2 is pretty good as well. And now, as per usual, do you have any final call-outs, shout-outs, words to say to the people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/BadgerPablo?
Dota's a game of inches. It appears that the Funny Zone just had more inches.
You really enjoy torturing me, don't you? Either way, thanks as always for joining me.
Either way.
Thanks for joining me, Artorius. If you enjoyed the casting that I brought tonight, I too can cast your games and/or your tournaments. Best place to contact me is on Discord, Badger number 5713. And as per usual, have a great night.